Hello, I'm Matt from ludovox.fr and today I'm going to give you an overview of Dicium. So Dicium is a dice game at its core, but it's also 4 games in one box. It plays from 8, even 7 with some variants, and up to 12 and up for some of the games. It plays with 1 to 4 or 2 to 4 players depending on the games, and it plays for 30 minutes or 60 minutes depending on the game as well. So Dicium is a game that will have some components that recur over the games. So with every game you're going to have a player board. So we have 2 player boards which are for every color, and they are going to be reversible with different games. You're also going to have a lot of components for every game, but the games will be centered around a game board, and we will explain what the games are. And we will have those dice, and these dice are the core of the game, and they are basically what we are going to roll all of the time. So now I'm going to explain each and every of the game, give you an idea before moving on to the game system. So the first game I'm going to explain to you is Crazy Cups. So basically, Crazy Cup is a racing game. You start here and you want basically to race around that track and to be the first to complete the lap. And you're going to do that by rolling your dice, obviously, but by taking shortcuts. And if you take the right shortcuts, you might really gain a lot of spaces, but you have to develop the right technology. If you want to go on rails, you need special wheels. If you want to go onto lakes, you will have to be amphibious. So you will have to develop those technologies, and obviously you can mess with the other players. So that's it for Crazy Cups. The second game I'm going to tell you about is Dungeon. So Dungeon is a cooperative game. The players win or lose together. They are in this as adventurers, and they go into a goblin-infested dungeon, and they want to retrieve the crown of the Goblin King. And the crown of the Goblin King is their only way to victory. If they get it, they win the game. And it is in a treasure chest. They will have to lockpick, so they will have to spend time to get it. And obviously it's a co-op game, so they can lose as well. They can lose 2 ways. Either the Goblin King finds his way to his throne. When that happens, the player loses. Or, you know, there are goblins in that goblin-infested dungeon, so we will have to place those goblin tokens onto the board, and when you can't place any more of these tokens, basically the players lose. So the player needs to cooperate to remove those tokens from the board. So in this game, we will have a magic system, and we will have a color of dice which will allow us to move through these barriers, throw fireballs, or even go through walls. So this is very important, and you're going to have to coordinate to get to the Goblin King's crown first. The third game I'm going to tell you about is Civilization. It's on the heavier side, so this is a game in which you are going to develop your civilization on a central board, and the other players are going to do so the same way. So in Civilization, you are basically going to try to earn the most victory points, which are represented by these cards mainly. And every time you're going to get victory points, you take some of those cards, and when the deck is empty, this is the end of the game. So you have to race to the victory points, and you do that by basically moving your pawn around onto the board and building stuff. So you can recruit heroes, you can build cities and wonders, and they are all going to award you with victory points. And even you can unlock spots from your player board, and it's going to give you a bonus. So you're going to do a lot of things in Civilization that will allow you to do the extra stuff. You know, it's a heavier game. You're also going to have objectives. Some of them are secret, some of them are public, and these are going to award you with victory points, so that's great as well. Finally, you're going to have the possibility of asking the aid of philosophers, and the philosophers are cards that you're going to either keep for yourself and they will give you victory points, or you can use them to cheat with the rules of the game. So that's it for Civilization. This is a Civilization game in a dice system. The last game I'm going to tell you about is Shogun. So in Shogun, we will have a team battle game. So it will be samurai against ninja. Basically, a ninja clan is going to try to kidnap the shogun here in the center of the board. And they want to bring him to a torii gate. If they do, they win the game. But obviously we have a good samurai in the place, and the samurai is the other team. And the samurai are going to try to repel the invasion, the ninja invasion, and they will control the shogun if he's not controlled by a ninja. So basically the samurai are going to win if they kill a ninja. They will remove one of those cards, and if they light pyres or braziers, they are going to remove cards as well. And if they remove the last card, the fifth card, they win the game. There is also a way to win for any of the teams. If you kill all of your opponents and that they are unable to spawn because the spots are occupied, well, you win the game. So that's it for this game. It is simpler with the materials that are used, but it is a bit more complex in the making because all teams are very different and samurai and ninja have different actions. So now that you know a bit more about the games, I'm going to tell you about the system. So Dicium is a dice-based system, and you're going to have 6-sided dice, and you're going to have colors, which are very important, and pips from 1 to 5, and a wild. You also have a red die, and this is for combat mainly, but this is a normal die. Let's go back to these dice. You're going to use them either for combinations, such as poker combinations, like full, 4 of a kind, 5 of a kind, that kind of thing, or for the colors, because the colors represent actions, and they do that over all of the games. Blue is always, in all of the games, for movement. Green is always for development, for, playing the objectives in the long game. Red is always for combat, and yellow is universe sensitive. So for example, if you play dungeon, it's going to be magic. So if you roll a lot of yellow dice, you're going to be able to roll, to throw fireballs and teleport and do whatnot. And in Civilization, basically it's land movement, while the blue dice are sea movement. So you will have different actions depending on the universe for the yellow dice. So the Dicium system is based on the 2-2-2. This means you have 2 rolls on your turn, you also have 2 actions, a maximum of 2 actions, and finally you have 2 dice that you can keep at most. So the way it works is that you're going to roll a certain number of dice, which is based on this gauge here. So let's imagine I would roll 5 dice. I will roll 5 dice, then I might keep some, I might re-roll some, and then I'm going to use them for actions. So I might use them for the combinations or for the colors. And depending on the universe I'm playing in, they are the actions are very different. So I will make 2 actions at most, I will take them, and then I might keep 2 dice. So for example, if I use these dice and then this die, I will have 2 dice left, and I may keep them for a later round. So basically that's how Dicium works. You're going to roll and optimize with the colors and the symbols that are printed on them. So there you have it. This was Dicium. You have an idea of how the system works, how you have to optimize between combinations and colors, and also about the games that the system offers. So bye bye, and see you on LudoChrono.fr.